He tracked me through Snapchat and broke into my house. Until my ex showed up. It started innocently enough, a random friend request on Snapchat. His username didn't stand out, so I assumed it was someone from school or a mutual friend. I accepted. At first, his snaps were harmless. A picture of his dog, some scenery, and a generic streak message. But then, things started to get unsettling. He began snapping me constantly, asking oddly personal questions like, "What's your favorite place to hang out?" Or, "Are you home alone?" I avoided answering, thinking he was just awkward. But then I noticed something creepy. He always snapped back within seconds, like he was waiting for me to respond. One Friday night, I was at home watching Netflix. I took a casual snap of my feet up on the coffee table with the caption, "Finally relaxing." Within minutes, he replied, "Cozy vibes. I'd join you if I could." That was weird. But it got worse. I didn't realize my Snap Map was on public that night. A little while later, he sent another snap, a blurry photo of what looked like my street. "Nice neighborhood," he wrote. My stomach dropped. I immediately blocked him and turned off Snap Maps, thinking that was the end of it. But I was wrong. Around midnight, as I was getting ready for bed, I heard something outside, a faint shuffling sound near the back door. I froze. My heart started racing. I tried to brush it off as an animal or the wind, but then I heard it again. And this time it was followed by a quiet click. Someone was trying to open the door. I grabbed my phone and called 911, whispering to the operator what was happening. As I stayed on the line, I heard the faint creak of my front door opening. My stomach flipped. Did I forget to lock it? I rushed to my bedroom, locked the door, and shoved a chair under the doorknob. I could hear slow, deliberate footsteps coming down the hallway. My hands were shaking as I held my phone, whispering for help. "Please hurry," I begged the operator. Then I heard his voice. "Why'd you block me? I thought we were friends." I couldn't believe it. It was him, the guy from Snapchat. Suddenly, he started pounding on my bedroom door. "Let me in!" he shouted, his voice low and menacing. The door rattled as he threw his weight against it. I was trapped. Just as I thought the door was about to give way, I heard the sound of tires screeching outside. A familiar voice yelled, "Hey, get away from her!" It was my ex-boyfriend, Jake. I have no idea how Jake knew to come over that night. Maybe a gut feeling, or maybe he'd seen my panicked texts from earlier that day. Either way, he was there. I heard the sound of a scuffle outside the door. Jake must have tackled him because the pounding stopped, replaced by shouts and heavy footsteps. Minutes later, the police arrived, storming in to arrest the guy. Jake stayed with me the rest of the night, making sure I was okay. As the adrenaline wore off, I broke down crying, and he held me, telling me he wasn't going to let anything happen to me ever again. That night changed everything. Jake and I started talking more, and eventually we got back together. It's crazy to think that something so terrifying brought us closer, but it did. Now I know what real love feels like, and I'll never take that for granted.